It's another math day here with teacher Jenny. Join me for another topic. This time we're going to talk about writing the standard equation of the parabola for every given parts. So let's have given vertex and focus. We have number 1, vertex is at -1, 2, and focus is at 7, 2. In writing our standard equation, we have to identify the following. First, we have the opening, and then we've got the vertex, then followed with an A, or if not, our 4A. So once we're done identifying those, we will be able to write our standard equation. So let's start off with the opening. Since the given is a vertex and a focus, we will always be basing our opening on the movement of the focus from the vertex because our focus is located inward of the parabola. So since vertex is at -1, 2, focus is at 7, 2, we've got the same value on y but different values on x. So most likely our opening of the parabola could either be left or right because your x there changes. So basically movement of your focus is going to be following the movement of the x-axis. So let's now identify what will be the opening here. We'll first plot it down. So let's say this is a -1, -2. Our vertex there is at -1. So on y we've got 2, 1, and then 2. So this is where our vertex is. And locating our focus, we've got that one as 7. So if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, locating our focus, this will be where our focus is. So if you try to look at that one from the vertex, moving to the focus, we're moving to the right. So basically, if we're to assume the opening of the parabola here, we can draw from the vertex, going that way, and also that way. So basically, that's opening to the right. So right after identifying the opening, we will be identifying the vertex. But since the vertex is given here, so we've got -1, oops, we've got -1 and 2. So our h here is -1, while our k is 2. Our a here, our a is the distance from the vertex going to the focus. So if you have drawn your graph there, you can actually count from the vertex going to the focus how many units are gonna away they are away from each other. So from the vertex here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. So they are 8 units away from each other. You can actually verify that one. You don't need to graph that one if you know already that the opening there is to the right based on the comparison of the different values on the vertex and the focus. Then you can go ahead and directly identify the A there by simply having it as A equal to the difference between the two values that are different on the vertex and the focus. We have -1 minus 7. So regardless of which one will come first, that's really fine. You'll still come up with the same answer, but if you stumble upon a negative result, get the absolute value of that one because we're talking about the number of units. That means to say a whole number or a positive number. So we've got here A is equal to -1 minus 7. That's a -8. Get the absolute value of that. And that will be our A. That's A. So see, they are the same. We still have our A. Next, once you have your A, you are going to get your 4A because in writing our standard equation, we need our 4A. We don't just need our A, but the 4A there or the length of the latus rectum. We have 4 times 8. Our A is 8. So we have 4 times 8. that should be equal to 32. So we have our 4a as 32. We'll be replacing everything here on the format for our standard equation. Since this one is opening to the right, we know for a fact that if this is opening to the right, our right side of the standard equation of the parabola will be with a positive 4a because we're opening to the right. And then opening to the right could mean that this one here right after the 4a is an x followed by a minus h. And on the other side, we've got that one as y minus k squared. So plugging in everything, we've got our y minus, our k there is 2. So copy and replace k with 2 squared equal to our 4a is already here. We've got that one as 32. So replace 4a with 32 times x minus our h is negative 1. Since we have a minus and a negative 1, that would lead to a plus. So this will be a plus and then a 1. This is it. This will be our standard equation of the parabola. So let's go over with number 2. Our vertex is at 0, 0, and focus is at 2, 0. So again, we've got a 0, which are the same on the y value. So which means that our movement there from the vertex to the focus is going to be horizontal. And that is giving us a hint as to what will be our opening, which is going to be either right or left. So plotting that one, our 0, 0 as the vertex is somewhere here. And then we've got 2, 0 as our focus. This will be where our 2 and of course the 0, 2, 0 as our focus. So if you try to look at that, we know the idea that this is going to be opening to the right because our focus is located to the right side of our vertex. You can clearly compare that one on the vertex x value, and so with the focus x value, you've got there a 0 from the vertex and a 2 on the focus. So clearly seeing that one, our focus is now moving to the right side of the vertex. So that means to say that the opening is to the right. Next, we are to know that the vertex, which is given there, you just simply copy that one. Our h is 0, our k is 0. And then next off, we have our a. Our a is going to be the number of units away from our vertex to the focus. So counting off from the vertex here, we have 1 and 2. So our a there is 2. Without using the graphing there, we can simply subtract the different numbers on the x value to get your a. So a here is equal to 0 minus 2. A is equal to negative 2. Get the absolute value of that one. Our a is a 2. So a is 2. Let's go for 4a. 4a is equal to 4 times 2, which is equal to an 8. So writing now our standard equation, we start with, since this is opening to the right, we are to start with the y minus k squared equal to the right. That means to say we're facing the positive numbers. We have 4a times x minus h. Replacing everything, we've got y minus, and then our k there is a 0 squared equal to 4a times x minus our h there is a 0. So simplifying this is y squared equal to 4a times x. Our 4a there, replacing that one, 4a is 8 times x. So there you go. This will be our standard equation of the parabola. Okay, on number 3, we have vertex at 5, negative 2, and focus at 5, negative 8. So vertex and focus share common number on x. So which means that our opening of the parabola here will be up or down. So comparing, we've got vertex, which is -2 on y, and focus is with -8 on y. So if you try to compare the movement of that one, our focus is located at the bottom part of the vertex. So plotting that one in so that you can have a clear picture, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So plotting that one, 5, -2, this is somewhere here. And then this is our vertex. While we have 5, -8, that will be somewhere around here. That will be our focus. So if you try to look at that, our focus is located at the bottom part. So which means that our opening here of the parabola is opening downward. Next, we're going to identify the vertex, but of course the vertex is already given there as 5, -2. 5 is for your H and -2 is for your K. Our A is equal to, we'll just simply count our number of units away from the vertex and the focus. So we start with the vertex, counting off down to the focus, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So our A there is 6. And if you try to check that one using the difference between those values that are different, we've got -2 minus -8. -2 minus -8, that will lead to a +8 here. And our A is equal to a 6. So yes, indeed, that's correct. A is 6. And then 4A is equal to 4 times our A is 6. 4 times 6 is 24. So plugging everything on the standard equation form, or standard form of the equation of the parabola, we have that as downward. So since that's downward, we start with an x minus h squared equal to downward direction. You can see there negative numbers from the origin. So that means that this should be negative for a, and we've got y minus k. Plugging in everything, we've got x minus our h, which is 5, squared equal to 4a is already here, so we've got 24 for that one. So all we have to do is to copy the negative. So we have negative times 4a, which is 24, times y minus k, y copied, and then minus k, minus our k there is a -2, which makes this one a +2. So there you go. That will be our standard equation of the parabola for number 3. We're now on number 4. We are given with a vertex and focus. Vertex is at 0, 7 and focus at 0, 11. We have the same value on x. So which means that our opening of the parabola could either be upward or downward. So let's now identify the opening. So as you can see, the different values there is on y. And locating those numbers on the y-axis, we've got 7, which is found below the number 11. So the 11 there goes for the focus, which means that we are going to follow the direction of the focus from the vertex to the opening of the parabola. So since focus is moving up from the vertex, so which means that this is an upward parabola. So plugging that one in, we've got 0, 7. We have 2, 4, 6, 8. So 0, 7, that would mean that this one is our vertex. And 0, 11, we've got 10 here. If we extend that Cartesian plane, so we've got our 11, 0, 11 here as our focus. So if you try to look at that, our focus is located at the top. So most likely our parabola there opens like that. And we've got the vertex, which is already given. We have 0, 7. Our A, we just simply count the number of units from the vertex to the focus. We've got 1, and then 2, 3, and then 4. So we have our A as 4. Or literally, we can just get our A by subtracting the different values on the vertex and the focus. We have that as 7 minus 11. Our A there is equal to a negative 4. Get the absolute value of that because we're talking about distance here. Our A is equal to a 4, which is correct. Then we're going to identify our 4A. 4 times our A is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. Writing now the standard form of the equation of the parabola, this is upward. So which means we start with an x minus h squared equal to upward direction. We're facing mostly positive numbers from the origin. So this is going to be positive 4A times y minus k. So plugging in, we've got h as 0, k as 7. So we have x minus 0 squared equal to 4a is 16. So we replace that with 16 times y minus our k there is a 7. Simplifying this part, we've got now x squared. Oops. We've got now x squared equal to 16 times y minus 7. So there you go. That will be our standard equation of the parabola. Okay, let's move to number 5. Number 5, vertex at 3, negative 5, and focus at negative 5, negative 5. So identifying the opening, if you are going to see that the y values there does not change from the vertex and the focus, which means to say that our movement of the vertex and the focus is to the right or left. So if you try to compare that one and plot that on a Cartesian plane, vertex 3, negative 5 is somewhere here. Okay, that will be somewhere here. This is our vertex. Negative 5, negative 5, that will be somewhere around here. This is negative 5, and that's our focus. So looking at that, we've got vertex and then going towards the focus that is moving to the left. So our opening of the parabola there will also follow that it's to the left of, it's opening to the left. So we've got opening here to the left. Next, we are to find a vertex, but we are already given with a vertex at as 3, negative 5. And then our A, we just simply count the number of units from the vertex here going to the focus. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So our A there is an 8. So to check that one, let me just get the difference between the two different values on the vertex and the focus. We've got that on x. We have 3 minus our focus is with an x, which is negative 5. So simplifying that, we have now a 3 minus negative 5. That would lead to a 3 plus 5, and that's an 8. We are now moving to our 4a. 4 times our a is 8. So 4 times 8, that will be equal to 32. Writing our standard equation, we are opening to the left, so which means that we start with a y minus k squared equal to the left, we're facing mostly negative numbers from the origin. We have a negative 4a times x minus h. Plugging in, our h here is 3, our k is negative 5. Y minus our k there is negative 5. So which means that this will lead to a plus, and it's squared equal to, copy the negative, replace the 4a there with a 32, times x minus our h is a 3. There you go. That is the standard form of the equation of the parabola. So this is your teacher Jenny saying, practice and practice, and that will lead you to a perfection.